he comes. Good morning.
Good morning, mate.
Well, I didn't expect to have to be doing this today. I thought I was going to get a day off from all this football chat, but it's got to be done, innit? Good morning, Jerry. Good morning, Mandy. Everyone coming into the chat. Okay, me and Kev are just going to have a little discussion about this. And if you guys are just all right listening in, morning, Steve, and we'll then take your questions and discuss it a bit further. Right, give me your thoughts on it first, Kev, because obviously you've seen my video this morning.
I agree and disagree in some of the things that you've said.
Yes,
on your video, and obviously, and that's as you know, there's no disrespect to your thoughts.
No, we always appreciate each other's opinions, mate.
Morning, guys. No, I was on live when this broke last night. We were just basically doing a chit chat video after chit chat live with some music and stuff, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose, and people were coming in saying that Salah has said this and Salah has said that and blah blah blah. So we hunted around for it, and then lo and behold, all of a sudden it's all over Sky. So for the benefit of the people that were in my live, I actually turned Sky News up so that everybody could hear what was going on.
Yeah. Morning, Sandra.
My sort of, I know we've discussed before that we felt that Salah was going to be off at the end of the season anyway.
Yeah.
And I agree with that, and potentially there was an option there for him maybe to push a way forward in January, even because obviously performances. But the way I look at it is that I sort of agree with Salah to a degree, that I feel he has been thrown under the bus by using him as a scapegoat for the poor performances. Okay, now he knows he's not in good form. He must know that. Every player would know whether they're in good form or not.
Very true.
But he's the only one that's being benched. When you consider there are other players that are playing week in, week out, not being benched. Now, whether that be for personnel reasons as regards we don't have enough cover.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Possibly. But then again, let's just take Konate. Konate's probably had one decent game all season. And he's not been benched. Personnel wise, who would we have to replace him if he's that bad? Okay, Gomez wasn't up to speed at the time. He's obviously now is. So he potentially could have put Gomez in at centre back in place of Konate and used Bradley.
He played Bradley, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he could have done, but he's chosen not to. He's chosen to go with the same player that has been awful all season. Right? And if it wasn't for Konate last night, they wouldn't have got back into that game. So why is he benching only Salah and keeping him on the bench when there are other players underperforming? Where Gakpo was another one. He's not been great all season. He's had quite a few pretty poor games where he's been so predictable, or he's not done this, or he's not done that, or whatever. So it's, again, we've had this discussion about, is he playing his favourites?
Thanks for the roast,
I believe he potentially is. What beef does he have with Chiesa? So I think there's a lot more than just this whole Mo thing.
Okay, let's just pause so we can cover a few things you've said, yeah? So, like the Chiesa thing, okay? He's been very professional, yeah? Now, if there's anyone in that team who should be really frustrated right now, it should be him, because he's playing out of his skin when he comes on the pitch, and he can't get a starting position, So,
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. And if we rewind to your other comments about there's other players in the team who should be benched as well, I totally agree with that, mate, 100%. But is it because we have so many more options that can play Salah's position over, like you said, Konate should be dropped. 100% agree with that. But if we put Gomez in there and he gets injured, then we don't have extra cover if Bradley gets injured, do we? And then we're back to playing midfielders at right back. So this isn't me defending Slot. This is just,
Yeah, logistics.
Yeah.
I get it. And yes, you're right. I mean, if you put Gomez in place of Konate and he gets injured, who do we then replace Bradley with if, he gets injured? Well, you got Ramsey for a start. He's put in Jones in that right back slot. He's tried Szoboszlai in that right back slot. He's tried various people. I'm not saying that it always works, because it doesn't. But there are options. Yes, there are other options to replace Salah on that right-hand side. But how many options do we actually really have that are comfortable playing in that position?
Yeah.
Szoboszlai doesn't like playing in that position. He'll do it. But his best position is in the middle. Right? You could put Chiesa on that right-hand side. You could probably put Ekitike on that side if you wanted to. You've got Frimpong, who's obviously out injured. Yeah, so there are other options there. And I agree that, in my opinion, when you were saying about, he didn't do it very professionally. He didn't come out professionally and do it. He just did it in the...
But you don't... Let me come to that first, because I want your opinion on that. And this ain't just ridiculing Mo for this.
No.
I don't think any player at Liverpool if they've got a problem, you go and air your dirty laundry in public. That ain't the Liverpool way.
What is Sparky? No, it's not. It's always normally done in-house. So again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Morning all.
Maybe he has already done that. And it's not work. Nothing's happened. Maybe he's gone and spoke to Slot. Maybe he's gone and spoke to the board. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know. So he might have tried that already and has got basically nowhere. And he's got so frustrated that he's got nowhere. And then all of a sudden he's benched again. And it's not even about being benched. It's about being benched, but not even coming on. Why is he not even coming on? And there was one thing that Slot said in his post-match interview last night, which really annoyed me, and I did cover this off last night.
Yeah, see, can I just add before you say it, I haven't seen the post-match interview from Slot yet today. The minute the game ended, I had to get off because our guests come in, as you know.
Right. So, he said, at 2-0 and at 3-2, we didn't need another goal.
Right.
So, basically, that's the reason why he never brought Salah on. Well, at 2-0, I can't remember at what point we were at 2-0, but at 2-0, let's say with half an hour to go, why would you not want another goal? Why wouldn't you be playing for another goal and doing everything you can to just completely put that game to bed? Because at 2-0, we know that can be pulled back. Last night was a perfect example. It only takes one mistake or a foul in the penalty box or a foul outside the penalty box with a free kick, deflected in or something like that to give the impetus to that opposition team, like it did last night with Leeds. Leeds basically, I think Leeds played quite well, but they weren't causing us too many problems at that point when we were at 2-0 up.
I think it was the penalty that gave him the lift, wasn't it?
And all of a sudden, the penalty comes along, which again was an absolute balls ache of a mistake by Konate, sorry. Got my names all mixed up here now. Which he didn't need to go in for that slide tackle. Absolutely, he could have stayed on his feet, but no. And to be quite honest with you, all game he looked like he had two left feet.
Morning, Camel. Morning, Jack.
But that gave him the impetus then, and then the crowd got behind him, and then we started panicking, and then we started defending. Now, up to that point, why wouldn't you go for another third goal? This is my problem with Slot. It's the negativity of some of the comments that he comes out with. He's already thrown
a lot of what Slot says doesn't make sense. Like, especially when he talks about the players. But
look what he did with it when he put the young kids in the Carabao Cup game.
There's
them under the bus.
There's no defending that at all. And I've put videos about that, how excuse my language, but how pissed off I was at his behaviour at that and what he said before the game. Because in that game, before it kicked off, he said, I wanted to give the youngsters the experience of playing in front of 60,000 fans. Well, he knew Palace would go strong. Yep. And he threw lambs to the slaughter. And how does that give confidence to youngsters losing in front of that amount of people with no backup, hardly any seniors in that team? I think there's one or two. But getting back to Salah, for me, because I've only seen this video this morning. Like last night as I got into bed, I literally read a little bit of a statement on the BBC website. But watching that video this morning, to me, this is how I'm reading it, okay? And you give me your thoughts, and then we'll start taking some questions in a minute from our chats, yeah? But I've watched this video 3 or 4 times now, okay? Yep. So I'm watching it, and I'm not watching a man give a video talking about frustrated. He wasn't angry. He wasn't frustrated. He didn't seem... To me, this was about him lighting the blue touch paper to cause what it's doing now. Like, we're all online talking about it, yeah? And putting it in the public eye, okay? You watch that interview and he's grinning. He's smirking. He knows what he's doing, right? He doesn't like it because he's not top dog anymore, yeah? He sat on the bench last night, watched Ekatike score 2 goals, okay? He knows he's not the main goal getter in Liverpool anymore, okay? Now, the last 3 or 4 days, I've seen a lot of posts coming out from articles about Saudi clubs are looking at him and when they will be going in for him. Now, I've always maintained I think he would go in the summer, as you know. Mm-hmm. But I think he's gone, do you know what? I can go off to AFCON. I can take myself out the public eye in England.
Morning, Dave.
Right? Put myself in the shop window. And if I cause this scene, he knows Liverpool are never going to let a player dictate how the club is run or who's in charge. Okay, and that's why there's a bit with the guy who's recording him in that video, and he turns to look to him. There's a massive grin on his face. He knows what he's doing. 100%. And this isn't about him being... It is about him being dropped, don't get me wrong. But this isn't him being angry about it. This is him orchestrating his move out of Liverpool. Because Liverpool will never let a player dictate who's in charge or how he's run. And I will stick to my guns on that.
Yeah, no,
because of the, it's just like it was his behaviour in the video. I wouldn't have liked any player coming out going public anyway. I really wouldn't. But how he's come about it and the cheekiness of the video, I honestly, truly believe this is more about him going, do you know what? If I kick off now, right, but in a cheeky manner, yeah, he's gone. Trust me, he's going in January. I can feel it.
Right. I think you're right. I think he is. I think he is gone. Did he do it the right way? No, I don't think he did. No. I think that was very unprofessional and very non-Liverpool.
Yeah.
And yes, I saw that video about where he was being interviewed, and he was sort of grinning and smirking and whatever. You've also got to remember, sort of body language isn't always black and white. When people get nervous or maybe even are angry, sometimes they don't show it like an angry face. They smile. So that may be a thing, because he doesn't give that many interviews.
No, not at all.
So maybe because of the lack of interviews, we're not reading it. We're reading his body language and his facial features as he thinks it's funny.
Thanks for the rose, SG.
Maybe it's a nervous thing. I don't know. I may be wrong. I'm just spitballing here, trying to.
There just seemed to be a little bit of cheekiness about it, like he knew what he was doing, and like knowing that it was going to cause a reaction. Yeah, and
it could well be.
Some some of the wording like aggravated me. I'll be honest, right? I'm not saying my opinion's right, guys. I never say that. Okay, it's just my opinion, and you're always free to call me out on it. Okay, but when he comes out and goes, "This isn't about me being thinking I'm bigger than the club," but then saying, "I think I've earned my starting place." No, you haven't, because the starting place is up for whoever's trained that well that week, who's in form that week. No matter who you are, you would never, ever, ever heard Stevie G mutter those words, would you? Ever?
No, not at all.
Ever. And that really rattled me. And it ain't very often I let football get me angry, but that right there, it did.
But then
takes a lot to get me rattled.
When you look at if we go back to Stevie G,
and
obviously it's a totally different scenario with Stevie G. When Brendan Rodgers was there as manager, Stevie G wasn't happy with his game time.
Yeah.
Right. So again, that's a mismanagement by the manager. Now we know obviously Salah has been in poor form, but you've said many a time, and I agree with you, that Salah is the sort of player that only needs one chance to create something. He could be playing poorly all game, and then all of a sudden he will do something that will change the game. Whether it be an assist, whether it be a goal, whatever. Okay. So I think you have to look at, not only have you have to look at the way Salah did this, and some of the words that he used, because there's something I wasn't happy with what Salah had said last night as well, which was coming up on Sky, about he saying he's earned his place, right? He shouldn't have to try hard because he's earned his place.
That's what I mean.
Was wrong.
That rattled me. That
pissed me off, because I'm thinking, hang on a minute. You've earned every game that you play over the whole of your career. Let's say you play Brighton, you have a great game. You've earned your place for the next game.
Exactly.
The next game is Arsenal, and you play great against Arsenal.
Cheers for the heart, Andy.
You've earned the right to play the next game because you're in form and you're doing well. But then let's say for the next 3 or 4 games, you're not playing.
Thanks, Sandra. Yeah.
Have you earned your place for the next one? No, you haven't.
Can I ask you something, Kev?
Yeah.
Imagine Klopp was in charge now, because he had already had a falling out with Klopp when he dropped him a couple of seasons ago. And that was only for 1 game, wasn't it? It wasn't a massive thing, was it? It certainly wasn't for 3 games.
No.
But if Klopp was in charge right now, and Mo had done the same interview, what do you think Klopp's reaction would be? Because Klopp is a much more emotional and energetic and respectful manager than Slot. Slot, for me, doesn't have the dressing room respect. But how do you think Klopp would have reacted to this today?
Well,
or last night?
Well, let's put it this way. I don't think it would have got to that situation for a start.
Right.
But let's assume it had. Let's go back to no, I can't think of this defender's name. They were away on holiday, some time away, and I think Klopp was being interviewed, and all of a sudden this defender came in and interrupted the interview, and Klopp went nuts. Sacco. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sacco.
Sacco. Yeah. He was straight out the team, wasn't he? Gone.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there are ways and means of dealing with certain situations. As a manager, you have to deal with all types of situations, and all personalities as well.
Or maybe Salah wouldn't have gone public had Klopp been in charge.
Yeah, maybe,
you know. But
I like you. I agree. I don't think Slot is a people person. I really don't think.
I totally agree.
He knows how to get the best out of a person, not only on the pitch or in training, but as a person themselves. I don't think he understands people very well. And I think he's that arrogant that he thinks he's above and beyond everybody else, and it's my way or the highway. Okay, fine. It's your way or the highway because you're the manager. Then the buck has to stop with you anyway. Because you're the one making the decisions, you're the one picking the team, you're the one picking the tactics, you're the one picking formation. And when it's not going right, okay, you then make your substitutions, and they're poor substitutions, or you're putting players in the wrong positions. You can't be blaming just Salah for the poor performances of the team as a whole. And all that basically seems to be what he's doing. He's dropping Salah and saying, "You're playing poorly, so we're not putting you in the team," which he has every right to do.
Thanks for the heart, Andy.
Then he's not dropping other players who are performing just as badly.
So can I ask you another thing, Kev? Right. So when he was asked, he says, "Oh, my wife and kids are coming over for the or coming to Anfield for the Brighton game to say goodbye to the fans before." And then he goes, "Oh, before I go to AFCON." And then the interviewer's gone, "Could it be that you never come back while you're at AFCON?" And he goes, "Possibly." And again, he gives that cheeky smirk. This is why I think he's done this to orchestrate a move out in January. It was the way he was wording things, you know. And I reckon it had been. I'm not saying he sat there with a notepad and pen and written this out, but I do think he had these things in his head he wanted to, like I say, just put out there, like he's lit a firework off. And because we're all going to be talking about it as we are right now, and everyone's going to have an opinion on it. Some people might want him to stay somehow, but right now, do you think the club will now move him out of the club in January? Because then are they going to want him to come back into the club with that? Like, I don't know if attitude's the right word, but I'm sorry, you can't come out and say you don't think you're bigger than the club, but then say, "But I've earned my starting place."
Well, you can only, like I said, you can only earn your starting place by performing.
It's almost saying, like, I'm Billy Big Bollocks, and, you know, don't matter who's in charge, I think I start in that team. When it's always the manager's choice. Manager's in charge, whether you like Slot or not. Yeah? And whether you think he should be gone or not. He is the man in charge as we speak right now. And his decision should always be final. Even as fans, we might not like his decisions. But when you're in charge of a group of players, they need to know who's in charge.
To be quite honest with you, I think both are at fault. I think Salah shouldn't have thrown his toys out of his pram as regards to this interview.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier on, maybe he's approached Slot. Because you've got to ask a question. Why is it that 1 minute he's got a good relationship with Slot, and the next minute he doesn't?
But this is because all the time he's getting everything his own way and playing, he'll never have a problem.
Yeah, that could well be, but there could be also a personality clash. There could be maybe Salah's not happy with the training, with the way the training is being conducted, because it's completely different to what they're used to, and it just doesn't seem to work. Or maybe he's had conversations with other players, because I dare say he has had conversations with players, and maybe all the other players aren't happy, but maybe Salah is the only one that's got the balls to actually come out and say something. I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes that obviously we don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, I've read comments today saying he done it because he's trying to get Slot sacked. But again, a player doesn't have that control over a football club, or they shouldn't at least, and they certainly wouldn't have at Liverpool. So, Liverpool now, do they release a statement on this? Do they just keep it in-house, which I think they should, and not make this turn into a circus? We're not like that crap up the road from us. Yeah, it's a difficult one now because it's put Slot in a position that his next interview, which is likely to be before the Milan game, he's going to get bombarded with Salah questions now when it should be about the Inter game, which I just think it's been for someone who comes over as meant to be very religious and thing. I found what he done yesterday very disrespectful to the club, to Slot, to the fans. That's my personal opinion. Like I say, I don't ask you to agree with me. I'm just letting you know how I feel, everyone who's listening in. Morning Vortex. So do you want to start taking some questions? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why I said, like, I think they're both to blame. They're both at fault for various reasons, for different reasons.
What's religion got to do with it? Just that, he comes over a very respectful person, and he is. He lives a very clean lifestyle and speaks very well. Usually, doesn't often give interviews, so this is very out of character for him. But I've always thought he's quite a sulky player when he doesn't get his own way. It's just my opinion. I'm not asking you to agree with me. Just putting it out there. Right, go on. Let's take some questions anyway, Kev. You take one from yours first, then we'll come back to mine.
Okay. Let's have a look here. Somebody's just put, how much you reckon we would get for Salah?
Well, in the summer, I was thinking around 50 million quid. But now what he's done, I think Liverpool will just try and get as much as they can for him. But then we could get a bidding war with a lot of Saudi clubs because he's such a marketing spectacle out there. With them being a Muslim country and he's Muslim, they'll make a lot of money very quickly out there off shirt sales. But yeah, it'd be interesting now. Probably won't get as much as we could have in the summer if we decide to move him on. Because does Liverpool want all the noise and circus that comes with all this? No. So that could be why he gets moved on.
Yeah. Leroy's put sell Konate before Salah.
Well, to be honest, they probably both need to go, don't they, at some point?
Who do we replace him with?
A lot of people are going to say Semenyo, aren't they? Because we're already looking at him.
At the end of the day, if they were to oust in January, you immediately they're looking at Semenyo anyway, and I think it's a £65 million release clause.
What's Salah's argument if he's playing crap? So see, Tony's just. What is Salah's argument if he's playing crap? It's very true. This is why I think he's a sulker. He doesn't like it because he thinks because of what he's done previous seasons earns him a right to be in that team. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah, but I've already said that, George. He's just said, what about all the other players? All the other players that are playing poorly, like I said to you earlier on, aren't being dropped. No. But
have we got positions to drop them? Yeah.
So there's that factor. But then, like we said, why is he dropping only one player, i.e. Salah, but he also is choosing not to play Chiesa or Ngamoa?
That's what I mean. I think there's other players in that team who've got more right to be frustrated than Salah has, because it's any of recent times he's been dropped, and there's we ridicule the players, we criticise the players. Whether they hear us, I don't know. Can't comment on that. But the ex-commentators and the ex-players have their opinions on them. They hear that without a doubt, whether it's through Sky, BBC, or whoever. And I think there's players in there who could quite easily have had more right to have a whinge than Mo Salah.
Yeah.
He's thrown his toys out the pram. That's all it is. He's had a tantrum.
Tap the screen.
Morning, Bounty on that.
The live. We could have the
tapping is clapping, as Kev says.
Yeah, tapping is clapping. So
please give us a like. Bounty, you can't come in, mate. This is just a me and Kev show, mate. Sorry.
The boot room discussion.
It's not your Thursday night show. This is a Sunday morning. Get it out there show.
Thanks, Owen.
Amanda Greaves, thanks for the rose and the heart. Much appreciated. And Crispy got. Sorry.
Why is Gakpo still playing?
Well, he did drop him the game before, didn't he? Or took him off. Took him off, didn't he? Again, we know Gakpo's too predictable for me, and I think he needs to stop being played regularly.
It's the Dutch link again, isn't it?
Yeah. Someone made me laugh the other day. It's almost like Gakpo's his son, so he starts. Yeah, we can't. Don't get me wrong. This chat isn't about coming on here and just ridiculing Mo for what he's done and trying to defend Slot, because Slot has made many mistakes we're not happy with, and we cover that most times when we're live. But today was just having a real deep conversation about Mo and what he's done, because it's not the Liverpool way. And I'm glad Kev could come on here this morning and give me his opinions on it, because obviously I put my video out on my opinions about it. So it's good to see several kinds of both sides of the coin, and also hear your opinions on what you think.
Colin, it's not about turning on Salah, because I'm disgusted with. I think he hasn't been treated right by Slot anyway, but I don't think Slot's treated any player correctly. In as respect to having players playing in positions that they shouldn't be playing in, or not playing a player when they're obviously
exactly that, Lauren.
So here's a question, right? Just a generic question.
Yeah.
Why does a manager who can quite clearly see a player is playing well when he's playing, which is very rarely, but every time he comes on, i.e. Chiesa, he impacts the game, he causes problems, he gets a goal or he gets an assist, but he doesn't play him. But then you've got the player like Salah, who we know what he can do, but isn't doing it at the moment, just automatically whacks him on a bench. But when you get a player like Gakpo, who isn't performing and is very predictable, he's quite happy to put him in straight from every game.
What Slot's doing is unfair throughout the squad.
Yeah,
so,
that's
why I said, we're not trying to defend Slot in any way. What I would say is, though, Chiesa, he's not felt the need to go public and have a whinge, and with what Salah done, is it actually little bit disrespectful too to his teammates, who probably have a little bit more right to have a whinge than he does? I think this is a lot. I honestly do. Right? I think this is a lot about Salah's ego, and it's hurting him.
Sorry, go on, carry on.
I really do think he doesn't like the fact we've gone out and bought younger players, younger strikers, people who are coming in to play in positions that he would take up, not necessarily being on the right where he is, but on the pitch, and they're there to get goals. And, he's just watched a 22, 23-year-old yesterday bag 2 goals who's likely going to start again. And he's thinking, well, yeah, this is a bruised ego man talking, trust me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just to answer somebody in here, Archon 1000, I'm not comparing Chiesa to Salah, okay? Not by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm trying to get over to you guys is the fact that Slot or Salah feels that Slot's throwing him under the bus by using him as a scapegoat and putting him on the bench and not using him. But he's also got a player there in Chiesa who does perform when he comes on, but he is not coming on very often and he's not starting. So this isn't about just a Salah thing. This is about a management thing by the manager, not playing informed players. If you're not going to play not informed players, which is fine, why are you not playing informed players as well? You've got to look at both sides. If I was Salah, right? Of course, if I'm not playing well, I know I'm not playing well, but I'd still want to be playing because I have that passion to play.
Yeah.
Right. So I would be disappointed if my manager never picked me, because I'd want to be on that pitch, even though I know I'm not playing well. I'd still want to be on that pitch. And then you've got the likes of Chiesa, who knows he's playing well and is not being picked. That for me, it's contradictory. If you look at it, Slot's contradicting himself by not playing a player that's out of form, but also not playing a player that's in form. It doesn't make sense.
Here's a question for you, Kev, and if people listening want to put their views on this, because of what he's now done, has that created a bit of toxicity? What's the word? Toxicity in the dressing room?
I believe that there was toxicity in there anyway.
But is this going to have helped?
No, it would blow it up even more, because I personally think, and I said this last night, I think the players will rally around Salah.
Well, apparently Verge come out last night and backed him, apparently.
I don't know. I've not seen anything.
I don't know if that's true. I've not seen the article, but apparently. But yeah, you know, if you're in that team now, like I say, you know, if you're a Kaiser or whoever, and you've just heard what he said, you know, are you sitting there applauding him, or are you going, well, actually, mate, if anyone had the right to be having a whinge at the moment, it should have been me. And let's face it, they're all teammates, but they would all stab each other in the back to get on the starting 11. Because they all want to be playing, don't they? So
yeah, but what you've also got to remember is when you look at a team of players that we've got, or any team really, they're close. They're training every day with each other. Right? They're very close as regards to teammates, but they're also very close socially. Or we said this about the Jota thing, right? So they're all close friends.
Yeah.
How many of those players would socialise with the manager?
They generally don't, do they?
Exactly. So my point is, as
Cheers,
friends,
Nelson.
friends are going to back friends. They're not going to back the person that's not very sociable with them. They're going to back their mates. So yeah, so somebody said here, Skips just said Slot is the outsider. When you look at
he's got the hardest job, hasn't he? Because it's not going right at the moment. We all know that. And then something like this happens. It's not helping his situation either. Whether we want Slot in or not, you know, at the moment, as we speak, he's the Liverpool manager, whether we like it or not. So all the time he is, you back your team, you back the players, you back the manager. So it's just not helping the situation. And Liverpool as a football club don't do their dirty laundry in public.
Right. Red Robin, I just want to come to your comment. They said they disagree with what you said, Paul, that they would that they would stab each other in the back. Now, I totally get where you're coming from as regards to you disagreeing with that. Paul's not saying that they would all stab each other in the back as people, but as regards to stabbing each other in the back, they would sort of not necessarily do anything.
Almost like you would climb over each other to get into that starting 11. Yeah.
But what wasn't needed there in your comment, Robin, is the last bit of your comment was, "Well, you're not from Liverpool." That doesn't make any difference whether Paul's from Liverpool.
I've got to cry now. I've got to cry.
It doesn't matter. You could just leave that comment as that first line, and the second line's not warranted. Doesn't matter whether Paul's from Liverpool, whether he's from Outer Mongolia. He is still a lifelong, passionate Liverpool fan. Okay, otherwise he wouldn't be sat where he is right now.
Liverpool's YouTube channel's got 12 million followers. You think there's 12 million people in Liverpool City Centre? Don't think so.
You can't play for Liverpool. What's this? You can't play for Liverpool, make mistakes constantly, and be rewarded with the starting slot. Slot should go. So there's the question: should Slot go? Should Salah go? Should they both go?
Okay, right. So a new manager comes in, right? Don't care who it is. I don't want him there, but let's say it's Zidane, right? So Zidane comes in, starts playing Salah, and Salah's level still don't go up. He's still crap, still ain't doing it week in out, right? Yeah. So then, was it Slot's fault? Just putting it out there. Is Slot the problem while Mo Salah's performing badly? No.
No, look, at the end of the day...
Szoboszlai's playing week in, week out great. Probably our best player this season.
A player's performance is an individual thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Salah may not like maybe the training, the way the training is performed. He may not like the tactics. He may not like the formation. Okay. But you've got a job to do. And you do it to your best of your ability, regardless of whether you like it. It's like going every day into work. Okay, if your job is literally on a biscuit factory on a conveyor belt to pick out any broken biscuits that come along that line, the boring job, you don't really like doing it, but you do it because it pays the bills.
Yeah.
Right? He may not like certain things that's being done since Slot's come in. and tinkered and changed things, but you still are being paid a wage and you've got a job to do.
Yeah, that's right.
So get on and do it. And so that in itself is not the manager's fault. But I also believe that there is a lot of things going on behind the scenes that have caused this. A lot of things that have caused the team not playing as well as they should be playing. And I then personally believe that's down to the manager, the big changes, maybe the manager's attitude, maybe the training, maybe Van Bronckhorst. Who knows what it is? There can't just be one thing that's causing all this.
Oh no, we've spoke about this many times. Dewey just put, some players will play more for their manager. Those who get on, and I totally agree with that, 100%. But what I'm saying is, with my comment, if it was Zidane or whoever come in, if Salah's performances don't go up when it's a new manager, then it's clearly not the man. It's not Slot's problem, is it? For the reason Salah's playing how it is. Every player has dips in their performances, and when they're not at their races for consistent games, then they just have to take it on the chin that they're taking out the team for a bit.
Yeah, boy, nobody is stabbing Salah in the back. We're discussing the comments that were made and maybe the reasons behind why they were made and what's going on in the background.
Thanks, Nelson. That's really kind of you. Cheers, mate. I don't really want to talk about the actual game yesterday because otherwise we've got nothing to talk about tomorrow and other lives coming up. This was purely to come on today and have a discussion how we feel about Mo coming out in public and saying what he said.
But what movie star was that? What Slot promised Salah? Because he's basically saying Slot should not have promised Salah to play every game. So is that what?
Why would a manager, any manager in any football club, come out and say that to a player? Because you don't know about performance levels, coming back from injuries, like rushing them back too soon. That's a very bold statement to say that. Like, he might have said all the time, I think you're worthy of being in the team, you'll be in the team. Who knows? But I can't imagine any manager would come out and go, you'll always be in my team. Because you're setting yourself up to let them down at some point as a manager. So if he did say that, it would have been a very silly thing to do from Slot.
Well, it'd be a very poor management decision. Because if he's saying that to only one player, why isn't he saying that to Virgil or Alisson or Allenberg or Soboslai?
I think the club itself right now, rewind a little bit before this mess, and they were already under a lot of pressure to act on how things are going under Slot right now. Spoke about it many times, our thoughts and views on this. So this has just added one extra thing to sort out now. So whether this has saved our Slot's job or he goes and Salah stays, but honestly, how can you get rid of your manager and keep a player? It's almost letting the player have dictatorship on what happens within the club. So I think that
disproves what we've said about no players bigger than the club.
Yeah. So right now, behind closed doors, I'd love to know what's being said, and what their plan of action is now, without a doubt.
Well, they've got to have some sort of, board meeting, management meeting, even a meeting with all the players. Tucker, you say Slot spent over 450 million and made us worse. Slot hasn't spent any of that money. That's Edwards and Hughes that have spent that money. Now, I'm not saying we are any better than we were previously, because obviously we're not. But part of that, I think, boils down to the fact that players have had to take time to bed in and to get used to a system that they're not used to playing. Maybe they don't feel comfortable in. Slot's completely changed everything. From last season, he's completely changed the whole structure of that team and the way we play and the style that we play. And the players maybe aren't on board with it.
I still don't think we've bought badly. I think in general, I do question Kirkes, but I think most of our signings are quality signings. We're just not seeing the very best of them yet.
Well, okay. So if you look at, let's take those individual players. Kirkes, it's taken time. We thought he would come in, hit the ground running, because obviously he was a Bournemouth player playing in the Premier League. He played brilliantly for Bournemouth last season. You expect to bring him in, and he would play brilliantly. He didn't. So that in itself, but he started to improve. Now I've seen the improvements in him over the last couple of times he's played. Then you've got Ekitike, who's just hit the ground running and it's been brilliant. So he's needed no time to bed in. Then you look at Wirtz. Wirtz literally was pretty poor right at the beginning, and now you're starting to reap the benefits of him because he's been playing really, really well. And then you've got Isak. Now, Isak had no pre-season, 0 pre-season. Then he got injured. Then he came in. Then he got injured. Then he's come back. But the problem with Isak is they're not playing to his strengths.
Yeah.
So why would you play this is a management thing. Why would you play a player in a certain position and not play to that person's strength, especially when it's your goal scorer, when it's your striker?
And I still don't think he's at 100% up to speed yet, as in fitness neither. And I think that's why we see him playing quite lazy football. You know, he takes up a position and waits for the ball, doesn't he? He's not moving about a lot at the moment. And that's why, he was right to start Ekitike yesterday over him.
Absolutely. Valley Boys just put, if we're leaking goals, why don't you just pack the midfield to help the fullbacks? We did last night. When we went 2-0 up, that's exactly what we did. Didn't he bring on End?
I like that comment, Matt. Sorry.
We did sort of pack the midfield a little bit more. And what happened? We leaked goals.
Metal Vortex has said, hypothetically, is Salah speaking just for himself or for others not being played? Personally, I think he's speaking for himself. I honestly, I will defend this comment to the hilt. I honestly think he done what he done yesterday because he wants to orchestrate a move out of Liverpool. He doesn't want to wait till the summer. He wants to get out of there because he knows he's not top boy anymore. He's got an ego, it's bruised, and he's thinking, well, I can go off to Saudi or wherever and get back straight into a starting 11 and probably bag a hell of a lot of goals, let's face it, for Saudi. Their division's nowhere near as competitive, is it? But again, this is just my personal opinion. Doesn't make me right, but that's just how I feel. It was the attitude of the interview and all the smirking. It really did grind my bones watching that. And I've watched it several times. This isn't me watching it once and just reacting on it. I've sat and watched it 3 or 4 times, even before I put my video out this morning. And then I've watched it back again before I come on here.
Okay, so here's another question for you and everybody else here. Do you think if Salah goes, VVD will follow?
No. Because Verge might have a problem with what's going on within the club, but Verge has a lot more respect. I think Salah's been very disrespectful with what he's done. He could have quite had this conversation with the board, with Slot behind closed doors. There was no need. If it was truly about him being dropped, okay, and I don't know how to word it, but he should have done it behind closed doors. Liverpool do not air their dirty laundry in public.
Well, like I said at the beginning, maybe he has tried that and nothing's happened.
Yeah. Well, maybe he has tried that and he's feeling very frustrated and he's thought, do you know what? I want to get out of here. Now, whether he could have just gone to him and look, can you see if you can move me on in January? Because I don't feel like, or I want to be playing more and I don't feel like I'm going to get those chances, and been very adult about it, then that is absolutely fine. And if you've seen my video this morning and there's a cheeky little graphic on it of him sat in a buggy throwing his toys out the pram, I've done that because that's purely how that interview come across. It was him having a little sulk and a moan. Yeah. And I just think he could have been a little bit more professional about it. Let's put it that way, to be polite about it. Because I do have a lot of respect for the guy. He's done a hell of a lot. Liverpool wouldn't have won hardly anything without what we've won since he's been at the club. He's contributed massively. And I respect him for that massively. And I would defend him for a lot of things. But I could not defend the guy for what he done go in public, you know.
Is Salah's attitude bringing the team down? No, I don't think Salah's attitude is bringing the team down. I don't think it's helping him as an individual. But I don't think. I think the team being brought down is there are many factors. It's obviously the lack of form, the way that they're playing, the style that they're playing, the formation that they're playing, the way that players are being asked to play out of position and they're not comfortable with it.
If you think about it, Kev, right? So he said this today. Now, all his teammates could all be putting out things on X or whatever platform, yeah, backing him, defending him, and questioning Slot's management style, yeah? But they're not going to, because, like I said earlier, it then damages their reputation within the club, yeah? And questioning the hierarchy of the club. Doesn't matter who you support, who your manager is, and whether you like that manager or not. Whoever's the manager of your football club should be the one who's in charge until the day the board says you're no longer in charge. Yeah. When players start dictating that, it's a very dangerous thing. It's been bad enough for me this season. Watch everything Klopp's built over the last 8 years slowly dissolve this season in the space of 5-6 months, however long it's been since the season started, yeah? And see that. And this is like fucking letting off a nuclear bomb in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, what you just said there, and I feel exactly the same as you do about that. You're seeing everything that Slot built up be destroyed. Who's to blame for that?
Arna. And, well, no, I can't just put it on Arna. I would say Arna and the board. Because they left him too bloody light in defence when the season kicked off. I know the Gay deal collapsed right on the thingy. But they should have been getting Gay. He should have been one of our first signings. You know, with all the ramblings going on over whether Isak was coming or not, that dragged on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Yeah? They took their eye off the ball.
Yeah.
They should have got Gay in. And I would argue a number 6. You know? And then they let Kwanzaa go. That was a mistake. Letting Simicast go was a mistake. We let too many players go from our defensive line.
Where are you getting this from, Matt? He basically put massive news at 12 o'clock if you want it.
Well, we'll be listening out if it's true. We'll be listening out. I was going to get off at 12, but I'll stay about for 5-10 minutes more to see if something happens.
Not good news, apparently, either. I'm not sure where you're getting your info from, Matt. Could you enlighten us, mate?
I'll have a look on the Liverpool website. Maybe they've put something on it. Arne Slot press conference leads 3-all. Reaction note. Nothing on their main page.
Sources close.
I don't have X or anything, but
so you've got sources close to the club that are telling you something's going to happen at 12 o'clock.
My neighbour's got that. He's got a pet goldfish. He's in touch with a lot of them up there. He quite often feeds me a bit of news. We can't fall for it until it's a major news outlet, I'm afraid. But yeah, this is a mess this morning.
Not that I can recall, Matt. I can honestly say I can't recall you ever being wrong when you stated something. So we'll see, mate. I'm not disputing what you're saying. You may be 100% correct, and at 12 o'clock we will get some sort of an announcement.
We'll agree with you then.
If that is the case, my guess is Salah is going to be sold in January.
Who would you get in, isn't it? A lot of people are asking if there's an interim manager coming in at any point if Slot was to get sacked, who would you want? A lot of people have said Gerrard. For me, I really wouldn't want to risk Gerrard. I wouldn't want him to risk his reputation coming in case it all went pear-shaped. It's just a personal view.
I think if he came in as an interim, I don't think that would risk any, because it is just an interim.
Yeah, it's a short term. And people would know that. I think if he came in as a permanent manager right now and all went tits up, then I think that would. Can I just get? I don't want to put a poll up because your people in your room can't see it. So let's put it in. It's a simple yes/no answer. Okay. Can you guys in the chat just answer yes/no? Was Salah right to go public yesterday and air his views how he's done it? Just a simple yes/no. Okay. Was it disrespectful? All right, I've got a no.
It's in my chat as well.
A no. Of course, it's flying up. No, no, no's. Yes, yes. No, a lot of no's. Yes,
I've got a lot
yes.
of yeses here.
I'm getting a lot, but a hell of a lot more no's.
I'm getting a lot more yeses.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of no's, but the majority
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close, but I think I've got my majority is no's, but it is very close. For every 2 no's, I'm getting a yes. So it's probably 2/3 no's.
I'm getting basically for about every 3 yeses, I'm getting a no.
Okay, so it could work out. It's pretty even. My opinion is he should have kept it in house. I don't like any player going public.
At the end of the day, Matt, he may well be speaking not just for himself. He may be speaking
exactly Vortex, mate.
We just don't know.
I know you guys have been throwing a lot of comments and chatting between yourselves as well in the chats, and thanks for coming on and listening and giving us your thoughts.
Right. Reese, the difference between what Mo has done and what Trent did, basically Mo has aired his views in public, which he generally shouldn't have done, but obviously through frustration that he's not happy with the way things are being done at the moment. Trent just basically purposely let his contract run right down because he wanted to leave to go to Real Madrid. 2 totally different scenarios.
Yeah, complete. I guess deep down, my heart or my thoughts would be, I don't have any problem with any player wanting to air their frustration out. It's the manner of it. You don't do it in the public eye. Because it's ridiculed Slot in a lot of ways and puts questions on the club to make decisions they don't want to be after making, And it's just extra noise and circus around our club. We're not performing well. We're not doing great. And now we've got to deal with this as well. It's like we're a fucking sideshow because of what he's done.
But did Trent make the right decision to leave?
Probably not.
Obviously not.
He ain't exactly done great out there, has he? Yeah, Matt, I agree. Diaz Nunes did have intensity. Sorry I've missed a lot of your comments and questions, guys. Just listening to Kev and having this discussion.
Mo knows exactly what he's doing. But what is he doing, though, Jason?
I agree.
Sorry, Kev. What exactly do you think he's doing? Do you think he's forcing this? Do you think he's forcing Liverpool fans to maybe change the management, or do you think he's forcing his fans to leave?
Both, either or.
Engineering a way out.
Yeah, orchestrating.
There's a lot of noise coming from your end, mate.
Rain, sorry.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. I was just wondering. I thought it might be in your mic.
Well, apparently my mic's got background noise cancellation, but it doesn't seem to work when it's rain. But then I am kind of sat in a drum in when I've got my polycarbonate.
Yeah, it is like.
Yeah, apologies if you can hear that on your feeds, guys. If it's annoying you, just jump over onto Kev's feed. Cheers for the heart, Carly. Georgie, thanks for the rose. Thanks for all the gifts today. Let's take some questions.
Yeah, maybe,
throw a question in my feed. I'll throw it.
A Salah out. I don't know. We don't know.
Turn off a little bit. Kevin's gone a bit quiet, mate.
We will still revert back to why would a manager bench a player like Salah, even though we know he's not performing well at the moment, but it's not the case of he's just being benched. He's not even being brought on when he's not even playing a player that's in form like Chiesa, but starting players and playing players week in, week out that are totally underperforming. Just as, see, the thing is, what you've got to realise is it's position dependent. When you look at the likes of Salah being on the right wing, even though his impact on the game going forward isn't as good as what it was, it doesn't overly, massively impact the results as much as if a defender like Kanate is in poor form and is causing us to leak goals, it doesn't have as much impact. Salah doesn't have as much impact, relatively wise, as Konate does.
Kev, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me anything you want, mate.
So Slot starts Salah against Inter Milan, right? Now, we're then going, or he will get asked, was that player power? Was that him dictating over you? Or is that you generally wanting to start him? Do you see what scenario this causes now? And the fanfare that goes with it? This is why you shouldn't do things like this in public. Because this won't go away now for weeks. Every interview Slot gives now is going to be questionable. Is this your decision as a manager? Is this Salah getting his own way? You know?
The next 2 games that we've got, which obviously is Inter and then Brighton, that's before Salah goes. Is that, does he play him in both of those games? If he does play him in both of those games, again, is that power?
Everyone in my chat is saying Salah won't start now. And I agree. Because I think as a manager, you have to... Salah really hasn't helped his situation, has he? Because Slot's now got to show who's in charge. So by doing that, he don't start for a 4th game. Yep. You see, does everyone see the mess of what happens when you go public?
It's that kind of worms again, isn't it? You open it up.
Yeah. And it's really stuff any football club doesn't want. But certainly not Liverpool, because you go over our history of how we do things. It's not the Liverpool way.
No.
Imagine if he'd done this to fucking Shankly. He'd have him out the club by his fucking ear, wouldn't
he? He'd be out that night. Particularly if Mo starts, he has to deliver no goal or assist, and the wind is out of Salah's sails. Well, the wind is out of Salah's sails already, I think, anyway.
But, you know, let's say he does start, and Salah's giving it his everything. But Salah giving his everything is a very greedy player. So you've got someone who's not going to cross the ball if there's a chance of going at goal, wherever even it's like a 30% chance of it being on target. You know? It's just a nightmare. Oh, have a laugh. He's drinking a cup of tea, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, this is coffee.
Yeah, it's fucking AI thinks you've got alcohol.
It's not alcohol. It's not Coke. It's not Bacardi and Coke. It's not anything Coke. It is coffee.
Fucking AI does my head in. He needs to be sent to train with the reserve. Do you know what, Smithy? I would do that if I was in charge. Because whether he's right or wrong is disrespectful. God. Yeah, do you know what? I can't wait for him to go off to AFCON, just so the noise dies down a bit. But as we speak right now, Kev, percentage-wise, how likely is he to be sold in January now?
90%.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I'd be surprised if he's still at Liverpool now. Yeah. Hey, let us know in the comments. Do you think Salah gets sold in January? Jay, Salah will go. Georgie, he's going.
FTI...
He's trying to deflect away from his poor form. Good comment. He's going. Yes, definitely, says Craig. I think Salah's gone Mohammed Islam.
Of course, Slot has to take some responsibility for it.
I'm so frustrated this morning, I really am. To be honest, my Sunday today was going to be on the sofa, a couple of old films and just chill out because I've done lives every day this week. I just needed a break and to come on and it's just got me so rattled this morning. But I'm glad we've come on and aired our views, everyone. Whether we're not even on the same page, I'm glad you've all come on today and had a good chat and put the thoughts out there.
How was your meal last night anyway?
Yeah, good. Yeah, oh my God, right. Sorry, quickly. We had a nice meal, and I haven't seen my mate and his wife for ages, so it's good to get together. Been meaning to do it. We've lived in this house 5 years and not managed to get them over, just with life and everything getting in the way. And we were playing Pictionary after we ate, and oh my God, we was in tears of laughter. Not one of us could draw anything. Yeah, great evening. Used the team Klopp left in. They worked with others to get egos and price tag. You know, if he let's say he doesn't get sold in January, and while he's at AFCON, we pick up form. he's not coming back into the team anyway, is he? You're not going to reintroduce him into a winning team and upset the balance of that.
We had that discussion even prior to this.
Yeah, we had it Thursday night, didn't we, I think?
Frimpong comes in and takes over his spot, or let's say Semenyo comes in and takes his spot, and they play well while he's away. Does he come back in and go straight into the team? And I don't know.
Honestly, King, no, mate, I don't. Not until we can get some defenders in, fella. Sorry, King's just asking, do I see us improving anytime soon? I really think if we can get a centre-back and a number 6 in, I think that could change our fortunes a little bit. Because it's not the goals that we've been struggling to get. It's our defence has been awful. You just look at the figures in the Premier League table. It speaks volumes.
Somebody just said, I'm on LFC side. Both of them pack their bags and can leave. Probably sorts out the best of all issues at the moment, doesn't it? Yeah. Morning, Stan. The season is a write-off if we don't get the right people in. Yeah, I do question a lot of things at the club at the moment. Have we got the right people on the board, right people doing the coaching? We've already discussed the manager with every week. We discussed Slot. Is he the right guy? And what happened yesterday just has not helped that in any way. Do you think Salah's waking up this morning glad he done it or regretting it? Probably glad he's done it. Because if his thoughts are
evening time, mate.
I want to move away.
Or morning even for us. Yeah.
Enough, I want to move away. That's going to push it. That's the only way I can see why he's done it. I can't see, because surely he wouldn't see that by doing this would change the management. Because that wouldn't make sense, because he would know the way that the club is run internally.
Yeah.
He's been there long enough to know that throwing his boys out of the pram, if you like, doesn't normally work. That's never really worked for any player. So that's really the only scenario. I get as an ex-player myself, not professional, but as an ex-player myself, who's played football for nearly 40 years, I'd be frustrated that I'm not playing.
Yeah.
But if I was frustrated at not playing, I'd just speak to the manager. I wouldn't just blow off and try and get all the team on board to back him and blah 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 blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. If the whole team have a problem with Slot, then they get together behind closed doors and have a meeting about it. Yeah. But for an individual to go like that, it's just not on.
Maybe
just not happy about it today. I really ain't, guys.
The meeting that they had when Van Dijk called it. I wonder what, if anything, was said against the manager and his tactics and his team choices and his formation choices and stuff. Wonder if things were said about that, not just about their own personal individual performances.
Yeah, I don't know, because we're not in the club. We don't know what gets said, what doesn't get said. We come on here, we air our views and opinions because that's what we love doing. We enjoy football. We love our club. King's just said he truly is happy what's happened. But I'm old school. Me and Kev have got some years behind us. I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way, just because you're younger than me. I never think like that. That's not my type of attitude. But I know how the club's been run for the time I've been on this planet, let's say. And Liverpool do things classy in a way, okay? And airing views in public just ain't a Liverpool way. I personally can open up and say, I don't like the way we bought Alexander Isak, okay? I don't want to go down that road, it's a different discussion. But that wasn't a very Liverpool thing to do, When you're trying to get a player who's then gone on strike, I think that could have been done away from the public eye and very done in a different way. So I would also criticise my club when they get it wrong. But Liverpool has always been generally a very respectable club who does things but away from the media. Because look at what we're doing today, the discussions we're having, yeah? And this is going to be going on all over, on all the platforms, on Sky, on the BBC, every news outlet's going to, and this will all come down on one man's shoulders, Arne Slot. And he's struggling as it is to get things right. So whether you want him in or out is not really a topic of conversation at the moment. This is just added to his problems. And I really don't know how the club are going to handle this. So if that guy said there's a statement coming out at midday, maybe they got something to say on the matter. But personally, I would have thought they would have kept it behind closed doors and away from the media. Because whatever they say now, if it's true, and they put a statement out, it's whether it's coming down on Salah or Slot or both of them, it's just noise we don't want at our club.
Well, certainly not at the moment, not with the way that we are as a club.
We're not some fucking Mickey Mouse fucking circus like Man U. That'll rattle them, wouldn't it, with that comment?
Will they rattle them?
Yeah, fuck them. Morning, Neil. That's from Kev. Neil says, morning, Kev.
Morning, Neil.
Morning, mate.
Fabrizio Romano, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically come out and said that Brighton will be Salah's last game. And
whether he gets on the pitch. Yeah, but how would he know who Slot's going to start? So,
yeah, you know. I mean, last night might have been his last game. He made the decision may be made for Salah to leave, go to AFCON early, or to take a break before he goes to AFCON and not be around the club at all.
Matt, you have a hell of a lot of dreams about our football team. If the players don't agree with Salah, this could be a turning point for Slot. Yeah, Craig. It's a mess right now, mate. Utter mess. Nightmare.
And like you say, it's a mess.
Neil, what you said, you think it has anything to do with Tom Hicks' pass? Oh yeah, have you heard about that today? Tom Hicks has passed away.
No,
I ain't got a nice thing to say about the bloke, but I would never wish any man dead or anyone dead. I don't wish anyone dead. But
nothing about it, mate.
When the club finally got sold to FSG, I haven't even got the book anymore. I read it straight away and gave it to somebody. But I bought a book off Amazon about how the club was being run under there, and it was a great read. But yeah, I don't wish any man dead. And sad to hear the news, but I ain't got a nice thing to say about him or the other guy. They run this club into the ground. We're trying to milk it for money, weren't they?
Yeah.
But any questions? You got a question, Kev?
Well, Tosh, it's not a question, it's more of a statement. Footy is a business. Salah has an always
You did, Tyler.
been selfish, and it's all about him.
Can you say that again? I don't know why your mic's gone really quiet.
Footy is a business.
Yeah.
Salah has and always has been selfish, and it's all about him.
Yeah, he has. We put up with it, and we've never really spoke about it for season upon season. Because he got the goals, he got the assists, you know. But he's not doing it anymore. His performance levels have dropped off. He still plays that greedy football, and he ain't getting the goals or the assists neither. So why does he deserve to be in the team? Well, apparently because he thinks because he's earned it for previous seasons. Well, you're living in the past, mate. Yeah, Camel, again, you know, Slot doesn't help himself sometimes with his squad selections, and I agree. Cody should be dropped as well. Cheers, Bounty. Thanks for popping by and listening, mate. There's many players we can go through that team and question, should they be dropped as well? Morning, Scouse Viking. Love to get your views on this at some point, mate. Maybe tomorrow morning if you're about. Come in and have a chat. Salah have done this to Klopp, which shows the lack of respect. Exactly, mate. Exactly. You know? We all love Salah. We all respect him for what he's done for the club over the seasons that have gone. We wouldn't have won the things we've won without him. But he seems to think he's in charge, you know? And he did have a disagreement with Klopp when he was dropped under Klopp. You know, he's got a huge ego about it. Now, all the time you're banging in goals, people will let that ego run because you're doing it, but not.
I think at the moment Salah's living off his reputation.
Yeah.
And you can't live off a reputation when you're having to perform week in, week out and do a job and you're not doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I would very respectfully listen to anyone's opinions, and even if you don't agree with me, like I say, I don't ask you to. I love hearing opposite opinions, but I would never agree with anyone who thinks Salah has the right to play in that team because of his past. Because he could be well off form for weeks and weeks. Cash in on him, yes, Viking, I would, mate, without a doubt.
It's just made a perfect comment.
Yeah.
With what I was saying earlier on about what Slot had said in his post-match interview, that we didn't need a goal. And then he brings Isak on.
Yeah. So I'm just checking Liverpool.
That's a contradictory again, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't need a goal, why would you bring a striker on?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things we can't defend Slot about. We speak about it every damn day. Yeah, it's a mess this morning, bloody mess. Yeah, Nathan, that is a top comment. The team we've built now isn't built around Salah anymore, and we've set a team up with an out-and-out striker. He's not our goal-getter anymore, and I think he's realised this. Griff asked, what's our thoughts on Pizza? You say it every time. You should be playing more football. You should be in that starting 11 for me. Is it time for both Slot to go and Salah? Probably, Phil. Is this the writing on the wall for both of them? Who knows?
I don't know, Stephen, what we're expecting at 12. Matt stated just now that some sort of an announcement's going to be made at 12 o'clock. We don't know if that's true, whether it happens, whether it's not. I've got Sky Sports News on, and there's nothing scrolling along the bottom to say that an announcement's going to be made. There's nothing on the main page either. Yeah,
there's nothing on the main page of Liverpool's website. I'm on it right now. Matt, if Slot wants to marry Cody, that's fine, but let's hope they don't do it at our club. I think Maury sees Cody as his son, the way he plays him every game, week in, week out. Mo, Salah is washed up now. Yeah, I think he certainly put the writing on the wall. I said the other day, it's not his career's coming to an end. It was his Liverpool career's coming to an end. He will do great in the Saudi League for another 4 or 5 years, if not more. He's in great shape. Yeah.
5 points out of the last 12 is not good enough.
No.
I mean,
if you don't know much, go Dutch.
Tosh has come up with another good thing. Salah's on £400,000 a week.
Yeah.
And doing nothing.
Yeah. So you don't make that decision lightly, putting him on the bench when you're paying somebody that much money, do you? No. So Slot didn't just drop him. We know why he dropped him, because his form's not there.
Yeah.
We've played. How many games have we played now in the league? 15? 3 or 4 Champions League games, and a couple of. All right, he's never going to feature in the League Cup game that early on in the stages. So let's say he's probably started all of the Champions League games, and he's missed on the last 3 Premier League games. I think so 12. So he's played 16 games, I think, this season, and been dropped from 3 of them in concession. So that tells you that decision of him not performing. What's he had? The goal against Bournemouth.
He's had 5 goals, 3 assists
in 16 games. So any striker in that form would be dropped from a team if you've got other options.
Thing is, he's not. See, when a player is out of form, how do you get him back into form?
Well, you have to play them, but when you're looking for goals at the moment, when you're in a team that's struggling, you also have to try different things, don't you? It's a hard balance, you know, and that's why it's unfair of us at times to go and ridicule any manager when that scenario is going on, because they're trying to balance so many things, isn't it? You're trying to keep players happy, you're trying to get results. It's not I wouldn't want that job, if I'm honest. Not with all the noise that comes with it.
Well, there's always going to be noise coming at, you know, or United or a team of that stature.
Just quick, we haven't really spoke about Leeds, and I want to hold on to it really till tomorrow. But just do you want to give your quick thoughts on the game yesterday?
Well, you know, for the first 5-10 minutes, obviously Leeds attacked us, and that's pretty good. But you know, once we got the first two goals, we looked in complete and utter control. Leeds didn't really cause us any problems. And then all of a sudden we get that penalty. And that was it. The writing was on the wall. As soon as that penalty was given.
Yeah, my brother-in-law supports Leeds, and we were chatting up via WhatsApp while we're watching it. And the minute that penalty went in, you could see Leeds' tails went up. They thought we can get something out of this game. And they fought back well. And hands, again, like I gave credit to Sunderland, you know, and I honestly thought we were going to lose yesterday. So to get a point, I was quite happy with. But some serious things need to change once we can get Christmas out of the way.
Problem is, we keep saying that week in, week out. Things need changing, and nothing at the moment is going to change.
But I honestly think we need the transfer window to sort a few of our problems out. Because the defence is the biggest problem in that thing. Once it stops leaking goals, I think the creativity will come back.
Well, hopefully. No, I don't agree with that either, Ed. No. Slot is the change we need. Posh, if you can't hear me, go out and come back in again.
I think it's your mic's been fading in and out at times. I'm getting it as well. Yeah. When you initially talk, it's loud, and then it's almost like you've got a something trying to balance your voice, keep it on a level, maybe. It doesn't usually do that.
No, Salah won't go to Man City. Not a chance.
There's a rumour Galatasaray want him back.
Yeah. I did hear that the other day.
Craig said it'd be nice to know what's happening with the manager first. Who knows, they could both be out the door. Good morning, chat, and good to see you in here, mate. Salah to Newcastle, top. Don't ask that. Salah starts to speak for themselves. 450 million spent, and we need more in the next window. That's a joke. Well, it ain't. Look at our back line. That's the joke. Leaving our manager with not enough defensive players. That was the joke. Chat, and I'm literally getting off in 5 minutes, mate. Sorry, fella, but I will be on tomorrow if you want to jump on. Please do then. Be great to see you and have a good chat with you and get your thoughts on this mess with Salah. So if you're about tomorrow, please join in, mate. If you haven't seen my video this morning, when you get off it, please go and look at it and leave your comments. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not asking you to kiss my ass on my opinions on this. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this. So go give it a watch and leave your comments. And I will read them later on and try and reply to them all as well. No, we shouldn't have sold Kwanzaa, mate. Neil, you're spot on. And Simicast as well, you know. We've left ourselves so light in positions because of how injury prone our left and right backs are. And then you've got Konate not performing. And the table tells you everything you need to know why we're not doing it this season. We've leaked as many goals as we've scored. He was good as well, Neil. You're right.
Yeah, we never leaked that amount of goals.
I'm going to stay on for a few minutes after midday just to see if it's true that there's a statement coming out. Personally, I don't think there is because I think they would put something on their website saying something's true. We'll see. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, Mike. You're spot on, mate. Do you think Verge is performing? No, we know that, Steve. We know he's not at his best at the moment. And me and Kevin spoke about this several times on our boot room shows we do on a Thursday evening. There's a lot of players not informed. We all know that. We all know that. Szoboszlai to Real next summer? I don't think so. I think he will be a Liverpool player for many seasons yet. Dom's one of our best players right now.
I fully believe Dom will be potentially our next captain.
I think so too, Kev. I really do. On the bench, LFC, Daz, have you just jumped in, mate? He might be out. I swear I saw his name just come into my channel. Daz, you're at home. If you are, mate, jump on a live quickly. I need to get your views on it, mate.
Well, we'll see, Stephen. I'm just waiting now, mate, on the Sky News.
Yeah, exactly, Craig. That's exactly how I feel, mate. It's just disrespectful what he's done. You know, we know the club ain't in good form at the moment. Can't jump on, mate, but wanted to listen to you legends. Cheers, Daz. I hope you're having a great day, fella. We'll have to have this discussion again Thursday night if you're about in the boot room, mate. I'm sure this has got a big topic of conversation Thursday, isn't it? This.
We'll have more noise, won't we, coming out?
We will. We'll have a lot more info come then, and we've also got the Milan game to discuss then. Right now, how do you feel that game goes?
Do you know what? I am not confident at all. Away to Inter Milan. I'm not sure whether on the league.
Phil's but thrashed. I think you're right, mate. I think we're going to get spanked. Sandra's go 3-0 to us, if only. I think everyone's dreading the Milan game. It's not an easy ground to go and play football in, is it? And then with how we are and all this fanfare that's gone and the noise, it's a shit show at the moment, isn't it?
I mean, it's not an easy ground to go even if you're playing really well.
Jack says hi, K. That's J-A-K, Jack.
All right, mate.
I was just going to ask if that game is at home or away. It's away. Definitely away. Tuesday night. Let's have a look. It'll be on TNT or Prime, won't it? Oh,
Yeah,
just
one
press
of
the
the
button.
two, 8 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys. It is on Prime. Are we doing a watch along for that one, ain't we, fella?
Yeah, we're doing watch along, mate. Yep.
Yeah, we can sit there supporting each other. Bring the Kleenex, I might cry.
I'll throw you a tissue, you throw me one.
Yeah. Then Brighton are not good, is it? Brighton can play good football when they want, when they turn it on. This could be another 2 losses coming up in succession. You think it would be better a Netflix underdrama? That's not a bad shout, Zippy. And then we got Spurs away. Oh my days. It's getting worse, isn't it? Inter Milan are top of the league pool. Yeah, it's not great, is it, Tyler?
Well, that's what I said. Inter Milan,
He does chat, and I don't agree. I just can't let those words leave my lips, mate. But I do agree. Yeah, Zippy. I've got to read this out because this is another great statement on it today. What the issue Salah has broken is the cardinal rule. You don't do it in public.
Yeah. That's the disappointing thing for me. He's done it in public.
Me too. I could have been on the sofa this morning watching films, chilling.
Exactly. Now you have to look at my ugly mug.
Well, now I'm rattled. I'm gonna have the arsehole all day. He's giving me the hump.
Your missus is gonna love you.
She's gone out. She went Christmas shopping again.
All right.
She went, "Are you coming?" I went, "I don't think so." Oh, it's cold, it's wet, and Salah's giving me the arsehole.
You made me yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, we got in there early, mate. In and out in an hour.
You don't want to be in there 2 days on the trot, mate.
Nah, mate. I ain't that stupid. You could have watched F1. I've got my friends out there at the moment. He's gone to Dubai to see that. I used to love the F1. I have followed it for a few years. This hasn't surprised me about Salah. I knew he had this in him. Yeah, me too, Craig. We knew he always had that huge ego and a little bit spoiled brat kind of attitude. And he gets a sulk on. What are your thoughts on Salah? You're about 2 hours late, mate. It's been the discussion for the whole thing. Go and watch my Drew. if you want my opinion, mate, go and watch my video I put out this morning. But I think you can guess that we're not happy. Bob Paisley used to say, you don't clean your washing in public. Yeah, most definitely, Susan. Most definitely. Me and Kev said earlier, you know, imagine him doing that with Shankly in charge, or one of the old school managers. He'd be out of that club on his ear, never to be seen again. Right, it's gone midday. It's 2 minutes past the hour, and there's no news about anything breaking. So I think it was nonsense, mate.
Yeah, there's nothing there, mate.
Yeah, even Klopp, Craig. You're right, mate. Even he would have had him out. Right, guys. I think we'll wrap this up then, fella. Yeah. Good to get your opinion, Kev. As always, an absolute pleasure. Guys, thanks for coming into our chats and airing your views this morning. Without a doubt, I'll be on from 9:30 tomorrow. So if you're about and you want to jump in, please do.
I won't be able to go shopping in the morning. So
okay. If not, WhatsApp me or something, and we'll have a chat about that. Anyway, guys, you know the routine. We'll be back Thursday in the boot room, 8:05, and I'm on every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from 9:30.
Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, and the watch along, Tuesday night watch along as well. All the best. See you later, Neil. See you later, Daz. Have a great day. See you later, chat, and everyone else. Have a good one. Oh, what else?
That Matt, who said about this announcement.
Yeah.
Good night, Matt. He just said FSG.
Yeah.
FSG, Richard Hughes, and Michael Edwards met with Slot this morning. Salah is up for sale.
If they met with Slot?
They met with Slot this morning.
Salah's up, so.
According to Matt, he got it wrong with regards to the announcement, mate.
Well, if there's any truth to it, it'll be out within the hour, won't it? So, cool. All right, cheers, mate. Okay, all the best, everyone. Have a great weekend, what's left of it. Ta-da.